If you're joining me live, thank you. My team will edit this little chaos out, I'm sure. We're talking about Pilates exercises for toe points, arches, strength, and foot flexibility. So I have my computer here, one, so I can see your questions that come in live, and two, so I can make sure that we can hear me. And it looks like we're not even on the right video. So um, perfect. Let me, yes. Perfect. Okay, we can get started now officially. Cheers. This is 9 a.m. Pacific time. If where you live hasn't fallen back yet, um, I'm sorry if you're like, I'm late or whatever, I'm early. Hi, we're here to talk about your feet. So I want to talk about foot exercises, and I have a ton of things to go over with you here. And hopefully I will see questions here. So feel free to ask me questions throughout this. And thank you for those who've already liked and subscribed to this channel. We are almost to 30,000 subscribers. Holy freaking moly, like 20 people away. So, tell your friend to subscribe because that is how we get this message out there to more and more people, and we can put more and more content out there for you. That's just kind of how it works. So I'll be really honest. I have a very hypermobile body, but my feet can feel very stiff all of the time. And something that I really struggled with was like pointing my big toe. And that is because I have kind of a level one bunion I've had probably since I don't know, even college. Like it just, I always had a really, like if I look at my dad's feet, I definitely have his feet. He does not have a bunion, but my big toe went from being, in line with my foot to like over there, right? So whenever I point my foot, I could get the arch to point, but I couldn't get my big toe to point, and I've been really getting annoyed with that. The other thing is like Toe Supplies gave us a lot of stuff for the feet, and we should be able to like separate our toes and put one toe down at a time, right? And I can do it in the reverse. I can go pinky toe, fourth, third, second big. But if I go this way, it's a little harder. It's like one and four. So, anyways, really working on our feet is really key for actually working up the whole chain of the leg, making sure we're using all of our muscles and supporting our back. If you think of your feet as like the shocks and tires of a car, you would never, ever, ever let them be out of alignment or like have less air. So that is the same thing looking at your feet. You want them to be mobile, flexible, and strong. Even if you have flat feet, you can still work the muscle of the foot. You can actually still strengthen that. And there's a lot of ways to do that. So I have a lot of choice here. I'm going to kind of explain all of them. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I really appreciate it. Also, I am by myself. So we're really hoping this goes to plan. So to do it twice. Uh, so these particular things, I'm going to actually bring them closer so you can see them. These you can put between your toes. Gait Happens uses them, and hopefully I put them right in front of the camera. Yeah. So you put them on in between the feet, and I really like these for my feet when they're in a shoe or a sandal when I'm going for a walk or even working out, because you can see it goes between the toes, but it is flat and it puts my big toe where it needs to be. It puts my pinky toe, which wants to curl, where it needs to be. And so when I'm walking around the house, when I'm out wearing shoes, like this is really nice. And what I've noticed is when I wear these, when I for a while, for a few hours, and then do my Pilates, or I try to wear them during my Pilates, I actually do point my big toe. So I really like this. Now, the thing I don't like about it is it can easily, like my big toe can move out of the space, but Gait Happens sell these. Some podiatry place on Amazon sells them, and they have little slits. So as you get used to the space, you can make that wider to really get your toe where it needs to be. So I really like how these can be personalized. They weren't even a lot of money, and I wear them on my long dog walks. And what I have noticed is I'm using more muscles in my feet. When I get to my Pilates practice, I'm using more muscles in my feet. What does that do? It means I'm using more muscles in my lower leg, up into my whole thigh, and into my center. So this is really incredible. And like I said, helps me with my toe points because my toe wasn't in alignment with the muscle that points it. So, that's really cool. There's also these ones. They come in a couple sizes. I don't know the name of them. I got them on Amazon. They look, well, I'll show you. They're silicone kind of a thing. and they have all five and it goes around. The thing you can see here though is how thick they are. So like, you know, they've got like a 1/4 inch thickness. So this is not my, like I like to wear these to do Pilates mat in, or I'll even wear them if my foot's feeling a little tight, but I can't fit them in shoes. And sometimes they make my tips of my toes feel like they're going to go numb, like they're almost like too much. And they do come in different sizes. The small actually is like too small for the numbness, but nice for the space. At any rate, they're great. They're not expensive, and they can do the trick for like a workout without shoes, right? So often what we need is to actually stretch the space between our toes to give them, put them back in alignment. And so little spacers like that can work. But again, this one I'm really loving because they're really mobile, thin, and I'm getting a lot of benefit from them. Now, Joseph Pilates gave us a toe corrector. Looks like this. This one's from Balance Body. They have a couple different strengths. And I have a ton of exercises on here. Plus, in the next deck, the accessories deck, I'm going to be putting toe corrector exercises in that deck. And the good news is you actually don't need to buy this. You can do rubber bands, right? In fact, I was on my Instagram account and someone's trying to sell me like a booty band, but for your toes. And it's just one thick rubber band. And I was like, huh, look at that. And they're trying to say that they came up with it. Joe was doing it a long time ago. So this one's nice because it has a spring and you could put it around the toes and do exercise. You'll see those on our channel. It's really great for connecting your feet to your feet, for doing mobility with the feet and with the toes and with the spring. So if that like toe, the different toe piano playing um, doesn't doesn't really like work for you, right? Like yet, this is really nice because it kind of helps you do that. So let me show you really briefly like what I mean. So you put this around like the big toes and you sit up really tall and you pull apart, and you can see this foot, these toes want to be back here. So I've got to get the toes to line up with each other and then pull apart from my butt right here. And what's really cool about that is it's connecting my feet to my seat and, excuse me, just making sure we're still on. Perfect. That's my feet to my seat, but it also is strengthening all of this up here. And I can draw circles and I can go the other way and I can point and flex. So I'm working this. So we're really strengthening the foot, right? And the muscles around the foot and ankle to really help us have, because flexibility doesn't come from just stretching things. You have to strengthen them too, right? Because actually, like lots of healthy flexibility is strength. All right, so that's a toe corrector. I did bring out this one. It's from Feetness, and if you reach out to my team, we have a discount link for you. It has the toe corrector part, so I can do exactly what I just did with the toe part, and it has these loops for the feet. And I really was liking this because I have my right foot was like kind of hypertonic and twisting. And so this allowed me to really work the foot ankle muscles. So I really like that. And I love doing this pedal, this point and flex with it, really to help connect my whole foot to my feet. And then I'll often do this before I start my mat practice or my reformer practice, just to get my feet in the game. You have a lot of other uses for this as well. So this is from Feetness, and I am really obsessed with it because it's got the toe corrector and the foot corrector. Okay, what else do I have for you over here? Okay, I do have a foot corrector for you. Looks like this. All right, it looks a little medieval. Bring it a little closer. This is excellent for really making sure that we balance out the foot. And how do we press it, right? Are you pressing with your foot leaning to the side, or your heel leaning to the side? Or are you flexing your toes too much? You can give your foot a massage with this. Again, we have tons of free tutorials here on the side on how to use this. And this will be in the accessories deck. I really like this one. There's a lot of brands out there doing these. I personally like this one because of how low the platform is. When the platform gets a little too high, it is kind of hard to adjust the pelvis because you want the pelvis to be even when you do it. All right, the next thing I brought out here for you, remember a couple months ago, we actually taught you how to make a 2x4 yourself. That's what this is. Oh my gosh. What a great way to strengthen your foot butt seat connection, but also create flexibility in the foot, and especially in the ankle, and spreading the toes. So really teaching us where to put weight into our foot. So I love this series. I think it's really great. And again, you can make it yourself. We have a free tutorial here on the site on how to make it, but this is a great exercise for the arches, for pressing through and stretching the toes. While it doesn't feel like it's a teaching you how to point, there's a point aspect to it. We got to be able to do that too, because that's kind of how you do a push-up, things like that. All right. Another great tool that is easy because you have it at home is the towel. And a towel, you can do this standing. I'll stand up. I'll probably get cut off, but I'll stand up just so you can see what I'm doing. You can also do it seated. So if that's something that you need, but you put the towel on something like linoleum or wood, and then you can stand and you can scrunch the towel with your toes. And then you want to flick the towel away. And I'm not doing a very good job flicking. And what I can see is of my knuckles, which toe knuckle isn't really coming into the game. And it's gotten better, but it's been this third toe for a while. So I can even get in there and kind of push that toe knuckle up. And then I'm going to flick this towel and unfold it. And I'm going to do it again. Right. And you can do two at the same time. And you can see which side is smarter, clearly my left. And then you can unravel, or you can do singles. Okay. So that is an excellent exercise for training your feet. And then another one, which I have never tried this before, so we're going to try it together, is to try to pick up a pencil. And you'd think I could do this because I have some pretty trained feet, but I'm having a very hard time. So clearly, the practice is one, but we want to get it so we can grab this with our toes. And this pencil does not, almost does not want it. All right, so I clearly have to practice that. You pick up a pencil, you could pick up a pen, you could pick up marbles, and you want to practice like the big toe picks up the marble, the second toe picks up the marble, the third toe, the pinky toe, right? I got to order some marbles here. I'm going to put all of these, the foot corrector, the toe corrector, the pencil, the marbles, 2x4 in the accessories flashcard deck that I'm working on. The one thing I haven't shown you is this Naboso ball. It's really spiky. I love to roll my feet on this ball. I'll put it under my desk while I'm working, and I'll just roll my foot around on this ball. The spikes actually do something with your brain. Uh, don't quote me. Naboso has all that information, but I just really love it. And it really does help prevent any like plantar fasciitis, especially, well, if you're doing your Pilates correctly, you should be preventing it pretty well if you're stretching your whole foot. But what I love about this is I can roll it around, and it really massages my foot. It massages my arch. And these spikes really help wake up some of the nerves. And then there's another ball in here, which I'm gonna have a hard time getting out, that it's like a little harder, that you could do the exact same with. So all these tools are some of the ones that I use to help work my feet. Like I said at the beginning, I have like a low level bunion. I have zero pain with it, and it's never gotten worse in the 20, almost 20 years since I've been in college. So I attribute that to Pilates and all the work that I've been doing with Pilates when it comes to the toe corrector, foot corrector, and working my entire foot. So even if you're like, oh, it's really far from me, I actually have a ton of problems with my feet. It's not. Like, the sooner we pay attention to them, the better. And we want to keep these really mobile. Like, notice how often you're putting them in shoes and making sure you're wearing shoes that are great for your feet. Last night I wore heels for the first time in, I don't know, 2 years. And first of all, they didn't hurt my feet. And second of all, when I took them off, I gave my feet a really nice time with my massage, with my ball. And so today I had zero problems, zero pain, and my feet feel really, really amazing. So I would just say, like, it's not that you can't ever wear those fancy fun shoes. It's just that you got to take care of your feet before and after, so that you're not paying for it later, right? We don't want to be in a place later we have to wear these awful, you know, terrible looking shoes to help support our back, or that we start shuffling around. Your feet are really part of it. As long as you have them, you should work them. Thank you all so much for being here, for joining me live today. It really means a lot to me when you come. Again, we are so close to 30,000 subscribers at the time that I'm going live, like 20 subscribers away. So it would really mean a lot to me if you haven't already subscribed that you do, and that you also hit the notifications button so you never miss anything from us. Today, we released a video on all the things you could buy a Pilates lover like yourself or a friend. And a lot of these, we're in it. So, so what a really great way to think about, what am I going to get the person who has everything? Oh, something that's going to give them a lifetime of feeling good in their body and feeling super, super strong. Thank you so much for watching. You can get on the wait list for the accessories deck, so you don't miss our pre-sale. And also, we're coming to a city near you on our upcoming tour, just 33 days away. Go to opc.me/tour to snag your spot.